Yes.
Okay.
So thank you everyone for coming. This is our virtual business open house, and we would love to have you on campus too if you'd like to come in for one of our other open houses that we have. So thank you everyone for coming. We're going to go through a bunch of different areas throughout the College of Business today, and we also are going to talk to one of our deans and also Joe Winter, a faculty member, since this is our faculty highlight as well. So we'll get to that and they will both introduce themselves in just a minute. But I'm Julie from the admissions office. So any questions you have related to getting accepted to Niagara, scores that you need, transcripts, essays, letters, recommendation, the process of time it takes to be accepted, financial aid, anything like that, and also committing to Niagara in the May, I can go over with you. So thank you so much for coming today, and I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Renzel real fast.
Yes. So I am going to share my screen first and get back to where I want to be with this and just say thank you everyone for joining us. I'm Ann Renzel. I am currently serving as the Associate Dean for Undergraduate, and I'm really pleased to be part of this today for everyone. I really enjoy meeting new students and working with you as you come in as new freshmen. In addition to me today, we have with us Mr. Joe Winter. He is part of our accounting department. However, Joe is involved in a multitude of business activities, not just focused totally on accounting, but he has a broad background in business management and running firms. He's involved with our innovation center. So what I thought we would do today would be, I'm going to just go a quick overview of our college, ask any questions along the way are great. And then we're going to have a little bit of a discussion with Joe so he can talk a little bit about exactly what he does and kind of a little bit about how his career progressed. So with that, I'm going to attempt to turn on my slideshow just so we can be a little professional here. I really do know how to use this, I think. There we go. Okay. So first of all, like you're very well aware, we're Niagara University. We are a Vincentian school. However, we welcome and enjoy people from all faiths, all backgrounds, all cultures. We're very multicultural, and we have a very strong focus on that. In addition, we are a well-supported technology-focused school, and one of our real hallmarks as being Vincentian is our focus and concern about ethical behavior for our students. Part of that gets totally woven into all of the courses that we teach. We have small classes, and we always emphasize students and our engagement with.
You're muted, Ann.
There we go. Okay, so first of all, with regard to the quality of our programs, we are accredited. AACSB is an internationally recognized level of accreditation for business schools. And from a student point of view, what it really means is that you are provided and engaged in a current and relevant curriculum provided by relevant and current faculty who are working in the field and are very knowledgeable in the field and taking toward the future of the field. And then also you have quality facilities that you have the opportunity to study in. So those are the basic three legs from a student's point of view of why accreditation is important. And you must realize that we are reviewed every 5 years. So this isn't something that we just have and just let lag. So it's a fundamental to how our school functions. We have faculty who are a mixture of teachers, scholars, practitioners, and all of us really sincerely enjoy working with our students, mentoring them, and trying to find the best paths for them as they move into their careers. We have a fairly good placement rate for our graduates. The most recent data we have is about 97% of our students are either in graduate school or they have entered their career and are progressing nicely into their lifetime paths. Okay. The scholarship screen, I present this one just to give you an idea that if you're thinking about coming to Niagara, you would obviously be packaged with financial aid as a standard process. However, on top of that financial aid, we have a myriad of scholarships that are available depending on specialty of focus, background, GPA, interest, etc. These are all stackable on top of whatever financial aid package you received. And I'm hearing that there has been money given to the university focused toward business. There are more scholarships that'll be coming in the near future. So just something to think about as you're considering your options. From an academic point of view, we have an accounting program. I'm going to let Joe talk about that in a couple of minutes. Just in very briefly, we have a 4+1, which allows you to get to the 150 hours that you need to study for your CPA, if that's the direction you wish to go. We have a very innovative minor in fraud, which is a cross-discipline minor, and it includes courses in criminal justice, courses in computer science, as well as specific courses in accounting. We have students working on the VITA program as part of their community service, which is an opportunity to complete tax returns for people in the local population. And most interestingly, in the last couple of years, our students have been asked to be the reviewers for the Buffalo Niagara Business Ethics Award competition. So our students are asked to do the initial review of the applications. And this is quite the honor because this really focuses on the ethical nature of the businesses in the Buffalo region. We also have degrees in economics and finance, management. We have an interesting concentration in supply chain, which all of us are truly realizing the supply chains are broken and life is not as good as it normally is with shelves being empty. But we have a focused degree, focused concentration in that lets you study why and become more efficient perhaps at managing that. We have a human resources, which is managing the human capital. We have an international, and then a larger, more general management degree, which we currently call the integrative management. In marketing, we have a degree there. We have a couple of concentrations. We have one in food and consumer packaged goods, and the concentration in social media and digital marketing, which is currently a minor, is being elevated to a concentration, and that is making its way very quickly through our academic processes and should be available no later than fall 22. So the opportunities in marketing are great. It's a very popular major within our college, and many students will minor in marketing and major in management or do some type of a mixture like that. We pride ourselves and we really focus on supporting you as students. Going through this list, we have faculty advisors. We have one-on-one advisors each semester. We have program advisors as well who are assisting with scheduling. We've just added a new person to our support staff. We have an open door policy so that if you have a problem at any time that you need to have addressed, you can always have access to people who will give you immediate response, immediate assistance. On a university basis, we have an academic success center, which helps you with writing, and gives you hosts math tutoring. We have specific tutors in the College of Business if you have problems in accounting or economics or math. And we also have a standard support for learning accommodations as well, which we 100% support across campus. Counseling services are available if needed. We also have a very strong and deep relationship with our career services group. The College of Business has had a relationship with them for more than 20 years. I'm very pleased to say that we had our etiquette dinner last Thursday, which was very well attended. So these are types of events that help you prepare, launch, and then proceed comfortably into your career as you go forward. Career services is also available to you as an alumni. So it's not something that you lose when you graduate. It's something that you can retain as you go further into your career and into the future. Niagara, the College of Business has a vast alumni network as well. It's worldwide. And it always seems that you can run into somebody from Niagara University, no matter where you happen to be in the world or in the US. So this network is very strong and we have good linkages. So you have that opportunity as well as a support mechanism. Just a couple more slides real quick about program and opportunities, especially for you as high school juniors and seniors. We accept credit for college work done prior to the start of your freshman year. So this is something to think about as you're thinking about schedules going into the spring in high school and moving forward. If you have AP courses, we take those for credit if you get a 3 or better on your AP score. If you take courses at a community college and either they come into your high school to give courses or you physically go to the college, they take those credits as well. They all transfer in your freshman year. And if your high school is in collaboration with colleges, for example, we have a New Step program through Niagara. There is something called the SUPA program that Syracuse University supports. We also have relationships here in this region with Erie Community College and community colleges across many other regions. So my words of wisdom are, don't waste your senior year. You can get a very nice, strong leg up to where you are, to getting into college and being able to get a few credits under your belt before you come. And that just gives you a lot more flexibility when you join us. Okay. Other things available, I mentioned minors. You can double major if you want to broaden your breadth, especially if you bring in a bunch of credits as incoming freshmen. You have study abroad opportunities for full semesters or for a week at a time. You have clubs, we have honor societies, we have mentoring and internships. That's a new program that we're just getting underway, where we initially link students with business professionals with the hope and expectation that they will then pursue internships, which give them actual business experience. And we also have the opportunity in your senior year, you can take 2 graduate level courses in your undergraduate program. The cost falls right in your block undergraduate tuition. So it's an opportunity, again, to get yourself situated and moving toward the next step in your career. Okay. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for visiting. The screen I have in front of me, if you want to take a picture of it, Kelly Asklar is our assistant dean. She is your main point of contact in the College of Business for undergraduate students. Sue Caballero is our retention specialist, and she works with assisting, advising incoming students. I'm Ann Renzel, always available. Dr. Frascator is our dean. He too is available if you want to speak to the dean. Julie and the admissions office can be reached at the number out there. And of course, you've already met Julie, who is she is a admissions counselor for the university. However, her focus is on business, and she tends to work with us quite a bit. So with that, as a quick overview is what I was trying to do. So if you give me a moment here, I'm going to unshare my screen. Whoops, share is going to turn my share off. Hold on. I'm not the best with this. Hold on one second here. How do I turn the share off? Stop share. There it is. Good. Stop share. Good. Okay. So we've had Kesar join us in the midst, and we have Peter with us and Kristen still with us. So anybody have questions before we talk to Mr. Winter? Kristen, you were thinking about human resources. Any particular reason why you were considering that, or just sounded interesting, or?
It sounded interesting, and in high school I took career and finance management, and I found it very interesting with the whole doing resumes and everything. So my business teacher actually told me I should look into human resources, and when I did, I found it quite interesting.
Oh, that's good. We have a very strong human resources group. Just a little bit of background and specific on that is that in your upper courses in the human resource area, we have industry professionals that teach our students. So for example, we have the chief, the senior vice president of organizational development for M&T Bank. He teaches organizational development for us once or twice a year. We have other HR professionals that come in to cover their specialty areas. So we have a nice mixture, I think, between academics and professionals who are teaching our students. And Peter, I think you were interested in accounting. So I'm going to hold off on that and just talk to Mr. Winter a little bit, unless you have some specific questions right now before we talk to Mr. Winter. Peter?
I don't have a question right now, so we can proceed.
Oh, okay, thank you. And
Thank you.
Kesar, what are you interested in? Just so that we have a little sense of how we can direct our conversation. Kesar.
I'm interested in international business. International business.
International business, okay. In our school, that is a solid concentration. However, I will tell you that recently we have been tending to merge international business with supply chain management. There's a tremendous amount of overlap between those two. So that's why I'm just focusing in that direction. Okay, so.
All right.
Mr. Winter. We figured I would ask him a couple of questions to get him going. So I was just going to say, so Joe, can you briefly describe your career in business, how you have gotten to where you are, just a little bit of an overview?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning at our open house here at Niagara University. And so as Professor Renzel mentioned, I'm Professor Joe Winter. I work in the Department of Accounting in the College of Business. I'm a CPA and I have a number of other licenses as well. I started out once I graduated from college in public accounting, and I got the opportunity to learn of a variety of different types of businesses while I was in public accounting. I stayed in that field for about 8 years. When I left public accounting, I went into healthcare, and I was able to help a local hospital system in the Buffalo area merge and become one larger organization that has about 10,000 employees. So I touched on areas of finance, legal, management, and the inner workings of different areas of specialty within the healthcare delivery system as well. Then I went into economic development and got a pretty good understanding of bonds and financing and banking and something that was a little bit out of my mix at first, but I really got acclimated to it very well and successfully. In that respect, you're working hands-on with businesses as being really like a consultant and opening areas of opportunity for where they could get financing or trade export or credit insurance or different products along those lines. Once I left economic development, I went back into healthcare again, where I was the chief financial officer of a musculoskeletal healthcare organization. We focused on issues of chiropractic, physical therapy, and the spine. And so got a pretty good background in the application of my skill set being accounting, finance, but it was an overall mixture of those skills that led me to the different areas that I practiced in when I was a full-time practitioner. And I've been teaching full-time at Niagara now for going on 8 years, but I still have a collective mix of hands-on involvement with the business community. The picture behind me, this is my screen background. I'm actually on the board of directors. I'm a trustee of the Ashford Hollow Art Foundation and Griffith Sculpture Park. And this 40-foot tall steel statue resides in the outer harbor of Buffalo, and it's on loan to the city of Buffalo for their own exhibits, and they're actually in the process of asking for more statues in this area for placement. But where I'm going with this is I'm still actively engaged in the business community, whether I sit on the board of the Ashford Hollow Art Foundation or I also sit on a board of a charter school here in Buffalo too, where I'm able to use that skill and that skill set to hopefully deliver quality programs for the Health Sciences Charter School, along with our mission for the Art Foundation.
Okay, thanks, Joe. So Joe is incredibly involved as a faculty member, and his incredible background really lends an awful lot of breadth and depth to his classroom and his discussions. But more interestingly, Joe, you're involved with something called TREC that Niagara has. And Just could you give a little bit of an idea about what Trek is, and then how you are helping the entrepreneurs that are trying to move forward, that are being hosted and working through that organization, or through that just, I don't know, facility, whatever you, for the center, whatever you call it.
Sure, that's a great point, Ann. So Trek is Niagara University's Business Incubator Center, and it's partnered with the Niagara Global Tourism Institute. So one of the things we pride ourselves with Niagara is we cross-pollinate and work with other colleges within the university itself. And so our School of Hospitality Travel Management, I work with them in the reference to Trek. And what the approach is it's been open now for about 2 years, and we're having hands-on involvement with small businesses if they have conflict resolution, or seeking some direction, or seeking to develop a strategic plan, or even seeking some efforts of loan financing or bank financing. Get involved that way with the individuals that would be in question on a hands-on basis. I'm down at Trek, which is in downtown Niagara Falls, 1 day a week. We have a networking group as well that meets every Monday for various business topics or business concerns or business efforts. And so there's really like hands-on involvement in that regard of trying to help and assist aspiring businesses. Maybe they got a thought or idea, and developing what the next steps could be in their approach of where they want to go, or what their undertaking might perhaps be.
Right. And I'll just comment for everyone's benefit that the term that they have given Joe at Trek is that he's a Sherpa, which means that he's a guiding force across all elements of business for a startup firm to start understanding how to get going and how to be successful in the new startup space. So again, I always like that particular name, Joe. It really kind of fits you. So, which is
good. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have one other real quick question for you. So just to give our visitors who are with us today, just a little bit of a sense that you certainly are not all business. I mean, you have a variety of external interests and stuff. Want to tell us a little bit about your baseball exploits and your love of sports and things like that?
Sure. Well, I do like sports. I'm a big Buffalo Sabres and Buffalo Bills fan. They're both doing well this year. Still try to stay involved actively. I used to play baseball when I was much younger, organized ball. Now I tend to play softball, but still a competitive field with people about half my age, so I have a hard time keeping things up. But I also, and one thing I forgot to mention too was, it's important, I think, for students to be involved with different activities. So one of the things I did just a couple of weeks ago, there's a competition in Buffalo where New York State and an organization called 43 North, they gave away $5 million, and they hold this competition yearly. It's kind of like, I'm not sure if you guys follow Shark Tank at all, but it's kind of like that Shark Tank effort where entrepreneurs are competing for funds that way to grow their business and develop a new product or get a service out to the marketplace. And I encourage, my students, I actually took my class to this event. So there's outside participation that we really try to get students engaged and involved with. In one sense it is academically, but it's outside of the classroom to see what other approaches and interests there could be, and just offer that as another avenue of exploration.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, Joe is one of the most engaged people I think that we have right now in our college. So I really appreciate his joining us this morning. So I was going to open the floor to the two of you to ask Joe a couple questions, but I did see that Kristen posted something in the chat, and I wanted to just address it. So Kristen, you were asking, why would you choose a Vincentian school as perhaps another religious-based school? The Vincentian mission is to service to the less fortunate, is a hallmark of what the Vincentians do. However, what we seek to do as well is to help the less fortunate be able to make a better life for themselves as well. So we have a lot of things that are engaged with our community. We have community service that is highly supported and highly, students are really expected to participate in that. This is extended into some new opportunities as well. We have students who come to Niagara who are interested in not-for-profit, working in those types of environments. We have just been given a large sum of money to fund not-for-profit internships. So your typical not-for-profit cannot afford to pay a student to come for the summer to help and assist. So we now have a funding source that allows that. In addition, in the mentoring program with similar focus is we have several students, again, who are interested in the not-for-profit area, and we have been able to find superior people in that area, in that sector, to be able to mentor these students and to start to guide them as they're thinking about their careers moving in that direction. So if you consider a Vincentian, say, versus a Jesuit or a Benedictine, we all have different focuses, and the Vincentians are very focused on community service, community engagement, and trying to help others have a better life, I guess is the way to put it. So Julie, I don't know if you have something further to add to that?
I mean, really, students who are interested in Niagara, being Vincentian just means that we like to give back to others, but really when you graduate from Niagara, it will give you a heightened sense of purpose just to go out into the world and kind of continue on doing those types of things, like maybe volunteering a little bit, giving back, maybe doing some fundraisers and just being involved. And it's just kind of like a mindset that our students have. Nothing that's forced upon you, but definitely something that while you're here, you'll pick up on and you'll want to continue it. So that's what I like to say.
And Kristen, I think I'll just comment from a faculty point of view, and Joe, you can chime in here as well. We have a very unusual environment on our campus. Perhaps, I'm not sure again where high school you're coming from, but it's very unusual in a university of a school of higher learning that there is an inherent and inbred level of ethics with regard to how, I got to readmit Peter here, of how we conduct ourselves. And the case in point is, I think the best illustration is near the faculty offices, we have tables for students study. And this happens all the time, and Joe will confirm that this happens all the time, is that students will be sitting there, they'll have their computers out, they'll have their purses out, they'll have their phones out, all on the tables, and have to go see somebody or go somewhere. And they just leave. They leave their stuff on the table, spread out, nobody watching it, but nobody touches it. It's an amazing world, because I've taught at other schools where you wouldn't dare do that. But at Niagara, nobody touches your stuff. And I think that is really illustrates, I think, a fundamental value that Niagara has as a community. So anyway, so that's what I have. So Peter, did you have any questions for Mr. Winter since we're here? Because I know you're interested in accounting, and he is certainly our professional in this area.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Joey, thank you very much. You've really given us an informative session, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Very good. So I have nothing further. Hopefully I have given you an overview of the university, and Joe certainly has given us great insight into how we function how he and others function within the business community. I have nothing further. If you don't have further questions, Julie, do you want to wrap up?
So thank you so much for coming.
Peter.
Yeah, I had wanted to know if we can get Mr. Joe's email so that we can contact him later if you have any further questions.
Yes, we will maybe type that in the chat, or I can email you his information. And what do you
All right,
think?
thank you very much.
Joe, can you put it in the chat?
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, Joe's
Awesome.
going to put it in the chat. And I can put mine in. I can put my address in as well. I'll do that as well.
Too.
Okay.
So thank you so much for coming. And I know Bridget is probably working with Peter because she has our international students. So that's really cool. So thank you for coming. And then also, Kristen, I know you talked to Kyle a lot, and I think you actually met in your high school. He came down and visited you. So that's a really great connection. And you can use him as a resource throughout this time. Email Dr. Renzel, myself. Jill Winter's the best. He'll answer you too. So lots of resources today. And thank you so much for coming, everyone. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. So if no one has any more questions, we hope to see you sometime on campus. Kristen, if you could possibly make a trip over to see us, we'd love to host you.
I did. I talked to you in person, Anne.
You did? Kristen, like, when was
Hang on.
that?
This is what I look like.
That's who you are. I
Yeah.
remember faces, but I don't remember names. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad you came to visit us. This is wonderful. Thank you for joining us
Me
this
too.
morning.
Thank
sure.
you.
Okay, so if you
It's
need
awesome.
if you need anything further, please let us know. This is great. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
remember the faces, like I said, not the names, but the faces.
Right.
All right, so have a good day, everyone, and thanks for coming, Joe. Appreciate
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Tell your
Have a good
girlfriend I
day.
said hi.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.